Good morning and welcome to the Autopsy of Her Healing, Evolving Resiliency. I am your host, Iris D. Owens, and on the line with me are my beautiful, beautiful co-host and my very dynamic guest today. So good morning, honey bunny. How are you today?
Good morning, honey bunny. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good morning, everyone.
You didn't
Good
tell them your name.
morning.
Oh, Stephanie Ziani Green.
Good morning,
They don't
Steph.
know me, but Stephanie Ziani
Yeah,
Green.
they know you, but just in case they don't.
Exactly. You're absolutely correct about that one.
Yes. So,
So we
guys,
have
this
company
one,
today.
yes, we have company today. And so, not do we just have company, we have sunshine today. I'm telling you, I love this
Absolutely.
sister from the bottom of my heart. And so, I want to introduce you all to my sister, Kelly Ray. I truly believe, Kelly, I never asked your middle name what Ray meant, like when you were named that. But
Oh,
but I think that your parents, your mom, your dad, whomever named you, knew that you were just going to be a light in the world. So that's what I say your race stands for. So welcome, Kelly.
I like
But
that. I'm
maybe her
gonna roll
mother's
with
name is,
that.
I was gonna guess her mother's name is Kelly and her father's name was Ray. They named her Kelly Ray.
I like that. I like that. Actually, I have a sister and a brother, and their name was Kim and Clyde, and Kelly just kind of fit in there. But I do have an uncle named Kelly and another uncle named Ray.
Okay.
And that's how it came together. But my sister's middle name is Ray also, so we just kept the Ray going.
Oh,
So
okay. Awesome.
yeah. So
Love
our
it.
daughters' names are Ray. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Yes.
I love that. So, Kelly, before we jump in today, why don't you just let everybody know who Kelly Ray is first before we get started?
Well, hello everyone out there. I am Kelly Ray. I'm the creative director of the company Dear Beautiful. I specialize in developing women into their best selves through preparing them for their photo shoots or styling efforts or parties or whatever it is that they're going through that they want to just be their dynamic self.
Mm-hmm.
I focus on encouraging the female gender to be the best of themselves. And I started out in acting, and I also have a background in modeling,
Mm-hmm.
and I also am a anger management specialist as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Awesome. So,
That's
Kelly,
beautiful.
I'm going to tell people all that you just said is very true. But what I love about you, Kelly, I want you all to understand this sister right here, she is the greatest cheerleader of everyone. Whenever you meet Kelly Ray has this ability to just kind of look at your soul and she just starts reading you all positive, right? And she will say, I remember to me, she said to me when we met, she said, "You don't belong here." And I kept thinking, what? She said, "Sister, you don't belong here." And I was like, wow. And so over these years, she has always encouraged me. So I call her my big little sister because that's really what she is. She's my big little sister. But I just want you all to understand this sister is dynamic. She is powerful, and everything about her is authentic. If she says it to you, it's true, right? And it's going to come to
Mm,
pass. She
amen.
just has that kind of spirit. And so I love that about you, Kelly. And I tell you that all the time. I'm very sincere
Thank
about
you.
that. Everyone who knows you, anyone who knows you says the same thing about you. She is a great connector of people as well. Um, she's that person like she'll know that you do something and she'll know someone else that does something. And she'll just say, "Hey, you two need to get together." She will connect you all together. She will share numbers. She's been social networking before that was even a thing, right? She's putting
Amen.
people together
Amen.
before that was a thing, right? She is a great connector of people. And so I just want you all to know that she is just an awesome, awesome person. We're so happy to have you today. So we're going to jump right in. And today we're going to talk about pregnancy after 40. Look at Kelly's face. This is what we're talking about today. And so life is a wonderful thing. Birth is a wonderful thing. It is a gift from God that we are given, right? That is only given to a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And thank God, because I think if men had to have babies, creation probably would have stopped a long time ago. It would have just been over. After the first pain of whatever, it would have been over, done, right?
I can't do this.
Right, I can't do this. Exactly. So we thank God for the gift of being able to give life and give birth.
Yes.
And so Kelly, you and I, we talk all the time, and we've known each other. Let's see. Oh my God, how long have we known each other? When I met you,
I'd say about 10 years.
10? Only?
11 years. This
Okay.
year, 11 years.
11 years. Okay, awesome. So in these 11 years that we've known each other, right, we've all had different transitions in our lives. And, we keep up with one another. But when I met Kelly, Kelly was a single mom with two children, right? 2 children. Mm-hmm. And now we are fast forwarding, right? And there have been some definite changes in Kelly's life. But I'm not going to tell her story. I want her to tell her own story. So, Kelly, tell us what happened. Tell us what happened.
So, I was just minding my business, like we do go to work like we're supposed to. And I had worked for that company for probably like 6 years, and I just making good money. I just wasn't going to go anywhere. Because when you're in a situation and the money is good, you really feel kind of like trapped in a way. Even though you want to go out and do your own thing, you're just like, well, this does this and that. At the end of the day, I was stuck like Chuck, mentally stuck like Chuck. And so one day, I had an anxiety attack at home. And I know it was anxiety attack. I thought it was my last day on earth. I was in the bathroom. It was early Saturday morning. I was getting ready for work, and I got up and I could not breathe. I came down to my knees. I had to crawl from my bathroom into my mom's room because we were living with mom at the time. And I called out to her, called 911. She hops out of bed and she's running around the bed, everything, trying to put her clothes on and take me to the hospital. And I'm like, just never mind. By the time they get here, I'm gonna be dead. So I lay on my back, and at this point, I'm talking about the air is labored. It feels like a man is standing on my chest. And I just asked her to pray with me, in broken language. I'm asking her to pray with me, get it out. She holds my hand, she starts to pray with me, and I'm trying to pray, and in the midst, I'm seeing my life flash before my eyes, and tears are running down my face as I'm laying down on the ground, and I'm like, God, if you give me one more chance, I'll do what you told me to do. And I say that because God gives everyone a purpose on earth. Wherever you are, whether or not you're in the line of work you're supposed to be in. You could be wherever and feel lost.
Yes.
You could be making great money and not feel connected, not feel like you're doing anything towards your purpose, not feel like you're changing the world in any sort of way. And that's how I felt. And so once we prayed and the prayer was over, the air came back into my lungs. I mean, it's kind of like drowning, like, I don't know if y'all ever have felt that feeling when you're in water and you're like, hey, somebody reach out and grab my hand, I'm coughing over here. It was kind of like that. And to come through that experience, I went in that day to work and gave my 30-day notice, because when God tell you to do something, you better do it. Period.
Say
point blank.
Story. Right. End the story.
Period. Yeah. And it was the best decision I ever made. And the last day that I worked there, I did a karate kick in the air. I'm animated. Karate kick in the air at the front door because we had cameras. I wanted it to be on camera. How Kelly Ray left the building.
Right. Record this.
Yes. gave my manager my keys, and I was out the door.
Yes.
You're like, deuces.
Yes, but because I made that decision, life transitioned and opened up for me in ways that are just really such a blessing and probably couldn't have been seen. When you're in that position, you can only see what's in front of you, you know? That's why they say, you know, you got to have an open mind and you got to allow God to do his work. Because if you just right here, you know, God can't do but so much with you. You got to be prepared and ready. Say, Lord, let it come in.
Right.
And so the blessings just started to flow in. I was already working as a model part-time because I couldn't take it on full-time because I had a full-time job. And so I left there and I said to myself, I'm gonna be a cocktail waitress and I'm gonna, you know, work part-time this other job so I can go ahead and still be able to let the jobs work for me. Let me say that again. Let the jobs work for me. Right. Because I had already been working for them for so long. So as a cocktail waitress, I was able to control my schedule. And the other job was on call anyway, so I could accept or take it if I wanted to. Right. But the money still was great. And I was like, I should have been doing this a long time ago. And I was able to network. I was able to get into a line of communicating to people that were movers and shakers. Because I still was after my promoting my acting career or getting back into acting. I got back into the classes. I just felt connected and bonded with these people because the arts is all I have ever, you know, wanted to do and be involved in. So like as far as theater productions, I've been, I helped with them. I helped produce them. I've been in them, you know, the hours and hours of preparation. So I know what hard work is. So I did that. I met my husband right before I started my cocktail job. And I told him what I was doing and what had happened. And I encouraged him to leave his job.
And, I want to ask you, how did you meet your husband?
I met him on a modeling gig, which I would do promotional work sometimes at the Georgia Dome. Now, mind you, the Georgia Dome is no longer. Right. So I take it was only there for that certain point in time.
Yep, that's true.
Yes. So I met him. He was coming through an area that I was working because I had to like pass out things to VIP clients and whatnot. And he was one of them. So he was coming down a little area. So we literally crossing like this. And I was like, excuse me, hi, how you doing? Do I know you? You look so familiar. And I just thought he was like some Asian model or some Asian and Black or something. I was like, oh my gosh. So the visual that I got was he was in all whites. Oh. That's the vision I got. Now, mind you, nobody comes to a football game in all white. But in my mind, I saw this man coming in all white towards me. Yes. And we talked about this. He said, Kelly, I didn't have them all white.
So Kelly, you saw what you wanted to see.
Exactly, but I had prayed to God. I'm like, God, please do not allow anybody to come into my life that means me any harm, that is going to distract me, that is coming to take away, you know? So as a single mother, I mean, it's hard dating out here. Would you agree? It's hard dating
absolutely.
Out here.
Absolutely.
You know? And the foolishness is real. Like, I can't really talk about the foolishness in 2022. I've just read about it. Right. But back 2016, it was nowhere near where it is now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right about that.
But me and my husband, we got together, we dated for about a year or so. He became pretty serious and I was serious too. And we eventually got married. Fast forward, we 3 kids later, 2.5 kids later. So I'm pregnant now, after 40, unexpected, help us all. Right now it's 4 children in the house doing their thing, living their best life, you know, 2 teenagers. So I have a 17, a 13 about to be, and a 4 and a 3. Okay, so everybody is on different levels, you know, doing their own thing and wanting to live their best life. And I'm just here to facilitate that because God gave me these blessings, and they came out of the blue sky. But I know I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, for at least a short amount of time. I was always working, so I didn't have that available for the first two children. I wasn't as available as I needed to be.
Right.
But with the second set, it was like, yes, finally, I get to be home, and now the older children get to experience me being home as well, having a home cooked meal to come home to, oh, mom, can you run me here? Can you take me there? I don't feel good. Can you come pick me up from school? Like, I'm able to do those things that I was never able to do before because of my husband and, the blessings that God has given us.
That's
so
awesome.
Let's talk about the new baby.
Let's talk about a new baby. Because listen, I love the fact that, so Kelly, when I met you, there were two, right? Mm-hmm. then you got married and there were 4. Then next year there was 5, and then bam, 6. And now there's about to be 7 folks in your family in less than 5 years. That's right?
Yeah, that's wild.
So talk about it. So talk. The eyes are killing me.
Let's talk about the transition, because it's a whole lot of different dynamics to our family.
Yes.
We are a blended family. That's one. We're blended.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of people realize the work that goes into being a blended family, or the work that needs to happen beforehand. Everybody needs to be in counseling beforehand, to tell you the truth.
So because Kelly, no, but you're right to a degree, because let's not. So tell people your husband had never been married before and did not have children.
Let's take it back. I think that's one of the most important points. He was a bachelor, okay, already on the market dating other people when I met him. And me being a single mother, sometimes single, sorry, my camera's shaking. Sometimes single mothers, they kind of have, the seriousness about them. Like, they meet a guy and they be like, listen, I got 2 kids. Right. What it's going to be. Right. I ain't got no time for no foolishness, and I ain't putting up with no mess. I mean, they're running it down.
Say it, sis. Say it.
I'm going to say it again. The single mothers, ain't nothing wrong with being strong, but you got to make room for the guy that you're trying to let in your life. I'm just say that. Let me say it again. You got to make room. You got to make room for the guy that you're trying to let be in your life. Because I know you had to hold it down for 10 years plus. And here come this man, all of a sudden, he's trying to help out and take out the trash and do something around the house. And, he want to buy your groceries. And you're like, I mean, got the tight face on. That's what you're supposed to be doing. No, that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. We need some appreciation to these brothers out here that are coming into already made families. We need some appreciation.
Right.
And I agree with that. Amen. Because so you got parents out there, they done separated, the dad done went one way, the mom went another. And it's not just single mothers, it's single fathers too.
Oh, absolutely.
But we're talking about mothers right now,
Right. Well, y'all know I am a true advocate for, I don't care that you got divorced. Your children deserve to have a parent, a mother, and a father. As long as they still walking, talking, and breathing, they deserve to have that. And I know I've said this before, that I know some women will disagree with me, but just because a man may not be able to pay child support, but he wants to be in his kid's life, that is not a reason to tell a man or tell your child, you can't see your dad. Because when your children grow up, they're going to ask you one day, how much was I worth? How much was I worth? How much did daddy need to have to have been able to be in my life? Or how much did mommy need to have? Because there are situations where it's the mother who's the absent parent.
Yeah. Whatever the situation, because they could come walk you to school, sit and do your homework with you, come to whatever class trips or whatever. You know, you do not take
Yes.
that away from any parent. And I'm with you. I do not. And
I'm
I
an
put up there with
advocate for
not
it.
giving them the father's last name either. That's horrible. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or when
Mm-hmm.
people say they don't have no daddy, baby, everybody got a
No,
daddy.
that's the worst. That is the worst.
You know, just because
Because you're
you mad
saying,
or just
yep,
because you mad, that's not
yeah.
fair to your children, you know.
You
So
you chose to lay down with that man or that woman.
Right.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and chose not to use, but whatever the situation was,
right,
now it's not that
Mm-hmm.
child's fault. It's the
right.
worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And parents need to stop with the nonsense.
Yeah.
It just hurts the children.
Right.
Right.
And not only that, when I say blended family, I mean, you got to realize that the children already had a dad,
Right.
so he gets blended into the family too. Y'all can
Absolutely.
say what you want. You can say he over there if you want to. No,
No.
ma'am.
No.
He is in the family. He a part of the family too.
That's
So
right.
that's what you got to work out in your head, because I know sometimes we just want to say, I just want to leave it alone. I just want to let that part of my life go. Like,
Nope.
Yeah, not when those kids' father. You cannot do that.
Right.
Right.
So it takes some serious maturity to just bring everybody together. And like you were saying, Iris, I am a person to be bringing people together. I just, in this situation, I just wanted to make sure that I was bringing them together
Yes.
slowly,
Yes.
because if you do it too fast, like, oh, well, here you go, y'all gonna have to figure it out. Like it could be explosive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't throw the paint on the wall and go, let's see what it makes. Nope.
Right.
Exactly.
You
And it was don't like what it does, and but you
Right.
could have made it. You could have taken your time to do it right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Kelly,
Right.
so like you said, so you took the time out, your blended family. So what happens there?
Okay, and like I was saying, I think that it's necessary that everybody goes to like a family counselor, just so we can work out little hiccups and stuff like that.
Mhm.
What happens is you have a teenager and you have a new representation of this is a father figure,
Right.
and she hadn't been living with her dad for years. So it's like, what? So there's an adjustment there. But I will say this, that I've learned the most important factor is both of the adults have to be a united front. Because I understand, sisters, that you and them kids was rolling together. You know what I'm saying? I understand y'all was, everybody was in your bed, I understand y'all was the only ones laughing and crying together. But I'm saying, when a new entity comes into your life, a husband, you have to understand that the roles have changed. Your children are not your friends, because I've probably been there. Shoot, yeah, your children are not your friends. They're on a different level than you.
Yes.
And you and your husband have to be the united front. That's what I've learned, that I think is the most important key, because you could probably mess up and have a bunch of side conversations like, oh, he told me to do this, Mom. Like the kids telling me, he told me this. And you might be like, oh, well, let me go talk to him, to try and tell him, why are you telling kids to do this? But in actuality, you be like, what you should do is, he told you to do that. Did you do it?
Right.
Then what you talking to me for? Because ultimately, the kids are going to play on your intelligence.
Oh, yes. And they will play you too. They'll play one of you against the other, always.
Conquer and divide.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. But they'll do it, and they can even be malicious with it, or they can be innocent with it, but it's going to get done. Right. Don't think you just going to slide by it. Ain't nobody trying to fight it.
Right. Because that's the truth.
It's true.
Just getting to know one another, and then having the baby, the adjustment to the baby, the first one, not too bad, not too shabby, but I mean, him getting to know me on that level of understanding that when you wake me up in the middle of the night, I'm not awake. I'm talking to you, but it ain't me. It's somebody else having a whole conversation. I got you. Okay, no problem. I'm just
Kelly, I've never heard anybody say that, but God, that's true.
It is
my
true. It's
God.
definitely true.
Man, I'm so
I would
tired
say
right
that.
now. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking, but this is not me. This is not
Yeah,
even a
Stop
good
it.
representation of me.
Right. He had to give me a different name because he was like, I can't understand. You a mom. Why you can't hear your baby cry? Because I'm tired. You know, like body goes through so much stress and trauma and giving birth. Listen, you
Yes,
out for the count. Somebody gonna have to tap in. Okay.
yes,
Somebody to wake
yes.
you up, hold your breast, put it in the baby mouth. I'm just saying.
Come on, see, Kelly, that's real talk.
It's real
That's
talk
real talk
because
because we think that we can do it all and we can't. We
No, we
cannot,
can't.
right?
Nope.
There is a reason why, obviously back in the day, like, our mother's era, their mother's era, when a woman had a baby, that woman was made to rest, right? That's where grandmamas and sisters and everybody came, aunties came in and took care of that baby for you and took care of you, right? Made sure you ate and you
absolutely.
rested and did
They,
it.
they,
Nowadays,
they
we
just
have a
put the
baby and
they gave the baby to you just so you could eat so it could nurse. And
nurse,
after that,
right? Then they took the baby back, right? And
Exactly.
so it's very interesting to me that in this society, there was, Kelly and I were talking about this the other day when we were talking about doing this, but Steph and I talk about this. There is so much wrong with role identity right now.
Talk about it. That's the
There
most
is so
important
much
thing right
wrong
there.
with it. It is so, it's like, I'm a woman. And this thing about I'm a woman, hear me roar, I'm every woman. No, you are not.
No,
We are
you're not.
the woman that God created us to be, but you need to figure out how you're every woman to the different people in your life that, i.e., share life with you, right? And a lot of times we're struggling to be that woman at home, that mother, that wife, that sister at home, because at the place where we work, we're a different person. We're in charge of everything. So when we come back home, we don't know how to be. Don't tell me to wash no dishes. I done went to work all day. Y'all couldn't cook nothing. But think about it. Back in the day, a woman did all that stuff.
Go clean somebody's house, come home, clean her own, cook dinner, then went to the store on her way home on the bus.
What?
Okay. I'm just keeping it real out there for folks that done forgot. Because I think that we done got spoiled. We done got spoiled. We got a little money now. Got spoiled. So we want to send for the food to come to us all the daggone time. But where's the nutrition at? Where's the nutrition of them groceries?
Right. And where's the bonding time that you take to be in the kitchen with your children, either cooking or washing dishes or doing homework or whatever? We forget that sometimes. We forget that a lot, and that's a real struggle. Even though, like people will say, okay, when I have a newborn baby, I want to be at home with them. Really, that's not the time your kids need you the most. Your kids need you when they hit that, nowadays, I hate to say it, elementary school and above. So Kelly, you are doing an amazing thing that you are there. Like your kids, you see them go out the door and you see them come in that door. You know from day to day what's going on with them. You're there to have conversations with them and to check on them and to really see them, and say, okay, I know when you left this morning, you were in a different mood. And now today, this afternoon, something's bothering you, right?
Right. But
I
you know what?
I applaud you for that. I really do.
Thank you. It takes the ability to be present because you could be at home, but that don't mean you're present.
That's true too.
So I'm just keeping it real.
Yes.
It's parents out there that don't know what's going on with their child, and they hear every day.
Right.
The cell phone, they know what's going on with your child, and that's another thing. Like if your child is not grounded, like the things that they see coming through those social media sites will get to them.
Yes.
And I've seen teenagers or heard of teenagers being depressed. My child told me it was a couple of teenagers that committed suicide recently, and they got Instagram. Not to say that that did it, but I'm just saying like they were reaching out on that social media platform to ask for help, and they didn't get it.
Right.
Well, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. The social media definitely does not
Yeah,
help.
right. It's just that it's just so sad. And because I was able to become a stay-at-home mom, I learned more about myself. The development of myself is different because when I was growing up, mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she eventually went off and got her teaching degree, but she was a stay-at-home mom and she was organized. I'm talking about she would get up every morning, write a list of whatever she needed to do. She in there hanging curtains, she in there in the attic. Like she was like the epitome of Martha Stewart. You know, Martha Stewart met my mama, okay?
Right.
Shopping from women's, what's that? 500 plus thread count, you know?
Yes, she's doing the thing. She's doing her thing.
Doing the thing. So with me growing up, I wasn't like, oh, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom. No, I was like, when I grow up, I'm gonna be gone. Because I like to go. I was just like, stay at home. Who? What?
Yeah, who wants to do that?
Yeah, so mom would be like trying to show me, how to do certain things. My memory saved it. But for the most part, like cooking and stuff, oh, my memory had it. Like I was cooking since 8. My memory had it, but when the time came for me to, like, I guess, use that knowledge again, I had to dust it off because I had been rolling, like I was cooking basic meals. This is important. I was cooking basic meals when I was a single mom, spaghetti and meatballs, meatloaf, what American stuff. But when I got married to my husband, he's from the islands. So ain't nothing basic about that, brother.
Right, and she be throwing down some meals now. She throw down some meals, Steph.
I ain't got no choice. And I look forward to it because it really expands my understanding of the importance of certain vegetables, what vitamins come from certain vegetables. And being married to him, we started a garden. It was small at first, but then COVID hit and it became massive. I was just like, I want to try this. I'll put a seed here, put a seed there. I mean, I was just watching everything grow. Sunflowers, 12 feet tall, just amazing. All of this beauty and essence right in the backyard. But he encouraged me to do that, to be free, to try new things, because I was so consistent with what was working. And that's another thing. Ladies, sometimes it might be hard to like try new things since you've been doing it so long by yourself. You ain't had no input coming from nobody, and now you got input. You like, who he think he talking to? Listen to me. Who he think he talking to? Like,
and everything, right?
Y'all heard that he got the wrong one.
Yes.
Who told you about to be doing? Listen, as a wife, I don't want to hear who he think he's talking to. He's telling you what he wants. You are the wife. You're not the slave. You're not the servant. You need to look at yourself on another level. Like people get married and they start feeling like they're a slave.
Yes.
They're like, I'm trapped. No, you're trapping yourself from not growing. And understanding the whole process behind a marriage or the point of it or the reasons for it. And so it's just been a growing period, especially not only am I growing as a mom of multiple children. I'm sorry, the screen just froze, but my growing as a mother of multiple children, I'm growing as a wife, and my husband's been incredibly patient. I got to give him his props because I'm a unique individual, flower child, moon goddess, no, whatever.
You are. You are. You truly are. You are truly a tree hugger. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm a bag of laughs, and he is the opposite. So me and him have connected from opposite sides of the world, opposite understandings of how things should be, the cultures. He was a bachelor. I wasn't. I've been a mom since 23. So bachelor, I didn't even know what that life looked like. He's used to having everything where he put it because no one was living there with him. So now that he's conjoined, it's like, where you put my sock? Where is it? Like, now he got to talk to himself so you don't get upset. He's like, I'm not going to get upset because this is just minor. I was just looking for my sock. Can't find no matching socks because the boy teenager done took them. Anyway, hey, when you live together, you know, you need a pair of socks, you get it as it come in the laundry basket. Hey, it's fair game.
You know what I love, Kelly, but I want you to, for a minute, I want you to, because everything you're saying, you know, like most of us, we grew up watching like the Brady Bunch, right? This man, this woman, right? Coming with their 3 children, da 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 da, and you know their families came together, and then they had this housekeeper that you know kept it all together for them. In reality, though, what you are experiencing, what you're sharing right now, is what reality is, right? That here, I mean, your situations could not have been more different, if that makes sense, right? You were a mom. You had been married. He had never been married. He's a bachelor, no children. He doesn't even have conceptualization of sharing space with children. Those little people who take up all your time, right?
And eat your food up.
And eat your food, right? And listen, they don't eat nothing until you're eating it. Oh, I don't like that till it's on your plate. Can I have some of that?
Okay.
You know, I love, you know.
Don't forget they take all your money. I mean,
and all your money.
Yeah. Him coming from the bachelor, only person he had to take care of himself
was himself. So, so Kelly, I love the way you have given your husband grace for him having to learn too how to be. Because he went from like Steph just said, it's just me. I don't have to worry about nothing. Where I left it in my house, it'll be there when I come back. Till now, when you walk through that door, there are people going, hey, can you take me to the so-and-so? Hey, I need you to fix this bike. Hey, I don't know where mommy went. One got
one leg, the other one got the other leg.
Exactly. And yet your family is growing so beautifully. I love that. It is just, this is not what we hear, if that makes sense, right? This is not what we hear. And this is what we need to hear more of. Because mainly what we hear about us culturally is that we just have a bunch of babies with some, you know, with these brothers and they don't stick, they don't stay. And then we're out here all by ourselves. And here is a brother, like you just said, Kelly, who he gave you grace. He gave you grace. But he's also, like you said, once you were able to release and say, I got to make room for him in our lives, right? I got to make room for him. And look at how you're saying you have grown. To me, that's what life is about. That's what marriage is about. That's what relationship is about, is learning how to release yourself and say, okay, because to me, if you have taken enough time out to be intimate with a person, then there has to be a level of trust there. So what you're saying is that you're going to trust a person with your most precious jewels, but you won't trust them with telling you something else. That the two things don't go together.
Say that again.
If you are willing, right? Because if you're willing to give away your precious jewels, right, to a man, because I always say there's a few brothers out here in the world that I would love to be able to go back and say, can I get that back from you? Because you didn't deserve it. But I can't. So I'm saying, ladies, when you giving yourself away to a man, and you're willing to give your jewels away, but it's not just your jewels, you're creating a soul tie. Everybody you are intimate with creates a soul tie in your life, right? And especially for us, we take on more because they deposit
inside. That's right.
Into us. We don't deposit into them. They deposit physically into us, right? And so I'm saying, if you're willing to take on, allow a person that much of you, and then you won't allow them room or space in your life, there's something wrong.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
Right?
Yep.
There's something wrong. And you can't turn around and say, like you said, Kelly, who he think he is telling me what to do, da 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 da. And ladies, I'm not talking about, right. I'm not talking about situations where somebody's being abusive to you. That's totally different. I'm talking about a person who comes along, who is a good, decent human being, who is there to help you and take care of you and take care of your children and see where they can be and make a difference in your life.
And he has to be a man, you know, because
a man of God, though, for real. Because
for real,
God,
because
and because
God.
because reality is that a man is like a man. He meets you, and he's like, I love her. Her children are an extension of her. I'm gonna love them too, you know. Because then you have, I mean, I've seen it on both ends, a man and a woman. You know, now they have children, and you love them, but you don't love the children, but you really don't love them. If you don't love their children, you do not love them.
Right.
But it does take a man, and it definitely takes a man of God to be able to do that. You know, but they have to be a man. And unfortunately, because of all the other things that we were talking about when these relationships don't work, and then the mother has a son, keeps the son away from the father and all these other nonsense, they don't know how to be a man. They're not raising we have a whole bunch of grown boys out here, you know, and they run around with their third member, and they're just running around impregnating women and don't know how to be a father to any of these children that they're creating. And we have a whole bunch of men, a whole bunch of grown boys, but not a whole bunch of men.
And they're not dating these days. It's called hookups, baby.
No, it's just hookups.
That's what's wrong with the world right now. Nobody's dating. Everybody's just hooking up.
Yeah, and it's not even like, you know, well, I just feel, you know, like I do feel the whole thing, you know, sex before marriage. But now, you know, okay, fine. The day and time we living in, you're in a serious relationship, you want to have, you know, intimacy, okay. But now you're not even in a relationship having intimacy. It's just a hookup. One night we're gonna hook up. You don't even have like a title. Well, really the only commitment is marriage, but you don't even have a title of a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and y'all just having sex. It doesn't make any sense.
Let's go back to that, because I think that's important. You said we don't even have a title. When we first started out, of course, like I said, single mothers, of course, you're telling people from the door what you expect and your expectations. But I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that, because you need to see where the man's mind is. Because at the end of the day, it's the man that has to propose to you. Of course, you can do what you want to do. You can listen to whoever telling you what. But it's the man that has to carry you on his back, honey. It's the man that's responsible for you. That is the dynamic. It's the man, then came you. So I just think that it's just going to work out better that way, because women, we love all day, every day. Okay, we can fall in love 10,000 times. You know, we just got love to give. But a brother's not going to fall in love that many times. And when he does, it's his responsibility. You become his responsibility. So whether or not he decides to take you on as a responsibility will depend on you, your attitude, your personality. You know, if you're forcing him, rushing him, all of that, all of those are key factors. You cannot do that. Listen to what he's saying. If he don't sound like he's talking about nothing, then you move on. But don't just wait in the wings talking about, well, he be taking me to get 10-piece wings, you know, on Fridays. We go out every Friday. We be at the bars.
You should be able to get your own 10-piece wings now.
Exactly. And don't give him a script, and don't not give him a script of what you expect. Like you said, let you listen to what he has to say.
Yes.
And this thing has nothing to do with money. But ultimately, if you're a single woman with 2 children, he can't be broke. Period, point blank. He can't have $0 coming in. All I'm saying, you can have your own job all you want to, but you can't get with somebody with no car. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. You can't get with somebody that doesn't have no ability to take care of themselves. It's not going to work. They can't do nothing.
Exactly. How did that in your prayer? When you said you prayed somebody that wasn't going to take from you, if you get somebody that comes in your life, oh, he's a really nice guy. He have no job, no car. He's borrowing your car to go find work. What is he doing? He's taking from you. You need your car. You're a single mother with children. You got to go. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care how nice looking he is. I don't care how the best way he's laying down the pipe and all that craziness. He got to go. And that's the problem.
And we've been through it. We all been through it.
Yeah. Oh, we've all been through it. And one thing about a strong woman, and I've had to have friends to tell me this. We as women are really bad at, we will take a man's pants. We put his pants on, and then we strutting around with his pants, right? We got it real tight because that it don't fit us. But we done took that belt and that's whatever and knotted it up and pulled that thing tight, right? Because, well, he's not gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But that should not be how that thing goes, right? Especially and that's where we mess ourselves up. You know, it's true. One, we either don't make room for them when a man does come along and he is wearing his pants and he's not giving them up. But then we're trying to take his pants. And then after we take the pants, then we turn around and tell him, you ain't worth nothing.
Hey, that's a mess.
That's something.
Yes.
Isn't that something? Because you can't. Men have major egos. Men's egos are. And so if you want to break a man down, start to tell him what he's not. But here's the thing where I think we're guilty. You knew he was not that when you got with him.
Exactly.
Talk about it.
You knew he was not that when you got with him. And in your
them expectations.
What?
You knew
because
you got them.
Yes. And in your head, you went through this thing of, I could change him. I can make him better. I know that inside of him, there is something greater. Boo. If a man is past the age of, I'm going to say, you know, they say a man's brain does not fully mature until he's 28, 29. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you meet a man at that age, or he's like 35, 40, and he's like, yeah, so I'm still working on my rap game. Boy, bye. If he is still living at his mom's house, and I'm talking living at his mom's house. Now, I don't care what the reason. If he is still officially living at his mom's house or never moved out of his mom's house, boy, bye. Right? As Kelly said, you don't have a car, you don't have cable TV, you don't pay no bills. He is not the brother for you. I'm not going to say he's not a man. He's not the man for you, though.
Yeah, right? I wouldn't call that a man.
No, but listen, what I'm saying is that just like we all find ourselves in situations, some people don't know how to get out of situations that they're in. Right. Because
they just grew. I mean, they weren't able, they didn't learn to be a man. That's what I'm talking about.
I was going to say that. If I wasn't taught how to do something, Kelly said that earlier. Sometimes men are not taught. There was not a man in their life. There was no pastor. There was no father. There was no uncle. There was no brother. There was nobody who took the time out to say, let me help you, brother.
But that's not your job to teach a man how to be a man. He got
exactly.
to be on his own.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And not to mention, he has to want to be a man, because right now you have so many women catering to men. Like it was like maybe a couple of months ago, the girl did this whole proposal for her boyfriend and gave him a car, you know, on Instagram. All this craziness is going on where these men have become these grown boys actually have become prima donnas. So now it's about them being catered to, and it's becoming more and more. I know even when I was a little kid, I used to see that with some members in my family. Didn't really understand it then, I was so little, but now it's more prevalent than I think it ever has been, because now you have these women like, okay, he'll have 3 women that same day that he's sleeping with. So they kind of talk to each other in the bed. Who can give him the most expensive gift? Who could do this? Who could do that? So these men are just taking the role. It's like now it's role reversal. Now you're trying to prove to that, you know, that I'm worthy for you, instead of him proving to you that you're worthy for him. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard.
But see, that's brainwashed. You know, it's only role reversal because of being brainwashed. Like,
exactly.
We're going through so much trauma. I'm a represent the ladies right now. We go through so much trauma,
we do.
pain, egg, heartache, childbirth. We got ailments going on in our body because we've been standing on our feet for 40 hours because we got 3 jobs. We're just keeping it real. We've been through a lot of trauma. So we sometimes we don't even understand what's going on. We just be not present and just trying to experience something to make us feel good in the moment. So I definitely understand that. It's just a shame that it's being consistent. Like, you don't want your daughters following in that cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were always taught to be princesses, you know, but now it's like when you grow up in a single parent household and you see how mom talks to the men that come around, you grow up thinking, okay, well, this is how I'm gonna talk to men too. So another single parent, you know, it just continues. So it really is about the language. It's about the language, the communication that's going on in the home, because I don't care if you got 5, 6, 7, 8 children, ladies, you still are precious. You still are beautiful, because you still here and you still ticking. And it is a man out there that would love to love you if you would let
all your beautiful children.
Absolutely, and your children. So I don't want to hear nobody out here saying, well, I got all these kids, I just gotta get it how I can get it. No. Don't put yourself down. It's how you are as a human being, how you're treating and taking care of yourself. You need to be eating the way you should be eating, not in the drive-through eating Popeyes and everything else. You understand what I'm saying? You need to be walking that track 2 miles if you got to. Keep yourself in shape.
That's true, Kelly. That's very true.
My mama always said, keep yourself together. She don't care how many kids I got. She be like, you're getting a little extra back there. You need to do what you got. I mean, they quick to call me out. I'm like, I can't catch a break.
Let me tell you. Okay, pause right here. So you all cannot see Kelly's Ray in full stance, right? But if you met Kelly Ray in full stance, you will never know that she has is a mother of soon to be 5, or that she had any children, because her body does not indicate that at all.
Go ahead, girl.
She has that blessing of not just the gift of beauty, but God said, I need this body to stay right. So listen, I'm just gonna say, girl, you will never know. You don't even know when she's pregnant. She's that woman.
My face is big. Y'all know you see this watermelon.
Girl, let me tell you something. God has given you a true gift, and the gift is that you are beautiful inside and out. And what God has given you to bless into this world are also gifts to this world, beautiful inside and out.
Especially when she's birthing sunshines, more rays of sunshine.
She does. Those rays.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
I know did you have any questions about the pregnancy now?
Hey, share. Tell us, please.
What does that feel like to be now in your, like, what are you, 40, 41?
41.
And to be pregnant, what do you think about that?
First of all, I think that surprisingly, the 5th baby, it hasn't been like much of a shocker as the 4th baby was. Because that 3rd baby was like, okay, I got a 3rd baby, we straight, we gonna live together and happy ever matrimony, you know? But it was like 5 months later, it was like, wait, you pregnant again.
Ooh,
the shocker. I cleared that whole bathroom out. Like, yeah! that 4th baby was the shocker now.
You got Irish twins.
Yeah. Well, I think when I was pregnant, the baby was 8 months old when I got pregnant again. But yeah, they look. Listen, the 4th baby came out eating like his life depended on it. So he looks like he's neck and neck with his brother. People think they twins. Ask it all day, every day. Are they twins?
No.
And they wear the same size clothing. For real.
Wow.
So it works out, you know. Different personalities. And it's just awesome to know that, you know, God is so good, because I thought I wouldn't be able to handle it at all. I was like, Lord, what am I going to do? People crying all around, I'm going to die. And I like to be on the move. I'm one of the moms you see with the stroller out in the mall. Like, that's me. Like, you ain't going to catch me sleep at the house. So I was already rolling with the 8-month-old. But when I had this second baby, once I figured out that stroller, I was gone. I was just like, okay, let me get a nice big old lunchbox, put this formula in there. I had my breast pumper in the car plugged up. I'm driving to Lenox Mall, pumping my milk. Yes, honey. I just feel like to be out and about in the air, you know, in the sunshine. I need that. I need to be around people. I just can't just be in the house all the time. Right. So
it's good for the babies too.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question, Kelly. Mm-hmm. How is it being a mother of, now you have 3 sons?
Yes.
Oh my God. How is that?
It's so cool because I don't have to worry about no hair bows. I'm just saying, I ain't gonna worry about no
thank the Lord.
Bracelets, hair bows, hair grease. No, everybody use the same brush. Everybody get the same oil sheet. You know, just, hey, grab that shirt. Oh, it need to be ironed. Who ironed it what? No. We roll, you know, and the boys, they gonna sweat anyway, so the wrinkles gonna come out. Just easy peasy simple. The girls, my firstborn, shoot, I wouldn't even put her on the floor. Crazy. I ain't let her go outside till she was 2. It was crazy. Yeah. So
and them boys can eat dirt, and you'd be like, stop that.
Yeah, shoot. I just think that boys are so cool, and to watch them play sports and kick the ball and learn how to catch. I mean, I just think that's so dope. Not only that, the daddy get to have all the love he can have. I'll be back. Go to give him down there. You got the floor.
Oh my God. Kelly, so it's gonna be interesting. You don't know what you're having now, right?
No, I don't, but we're gonna have a reveal in August, so
okay. I don't, what do you hope? You hope does it matter to you?
It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm open. I'm just grateful to be able to do it again. Now, right. I did want to tell y'all this would be my 5th C-section.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they can do that now. Actually, they didn't do that. They only allowed you 2. But I heard they do that now.
Yeah,
I didn't know that all your babies were C-sections.
Yes. The first 2 C-sections were pretty great. Well, the 3rd C-section too, but that 4th one, he was a back-to-back, you know, and then he was breached. They had to cut me a little wider, but for the most part, I didn't have no infections, nothing like that. They took very good care of me in the hospital.
Awesome.
I'm like a champion with these C-sections now. I mean, like
you know, you need a zipper. You need a zipper right there.
You just need a zipper. She needs a thing like the kangaroo pouch.
A kangaroo pouch. Be like, okay, hold on. It's time to open up. Let's zip it open.
Get the baby out. Say that because you've been seeing them come back to back. So when I told you I was pregnant, you was like, what?
No. You didn't tell me you were pregnant. You said, I put on a little weight, and I said, okay, so when's the baby due? And you like, how do you know that? Because you don't put on weight.
Oh, yeah, you did say, I was like, I gained 15 pounds. She was like, okay, you pregnant.
I knew, because she does not gain weight. That's what's amazing about her. And now the fact that you've had a C-section. So I'm 57. Steph is going to be 58 in next week.
Tuesday.
No, Tuesday. Yeah, next week Tuesday. Right.
That looks phenomenal.
And so I had my first child at 29, and then my second child at 38, closer to 39. Right. Okay. Steph had her first child at
36.
36.
Then I had my second at 38.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
And I had, my first was a vaginal. My second was a C-section.
Yeah. And my first was a C-section, but my second was vaginal, natural childbirth.
Yeah.
So y'all had that party life before you had kids.
No, not necessarily. Well, I don't know.
It's like I lived by myself for a long time. And I had a two-seater sports car. I had a two-seater sports car, and I said it was just me and my pocketbook.
That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't meet my husband until I was 29. I didn't get married until I was like 33.
And my life was all about me and my girls. Every pair of shoes I could buy, any clothes I could buy, any place I could go and travel was my life. I actually said I was not having children. It wasn't until I was 28. I guess I was like, I needed to decide.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't even want children.
I did not.
Oh, wow. I always knew I wanted children for sure.
I always said that I was going to not have children, and then
I said that too.
Because I have 11 siblings. I have 11 siblings.
Yeah, but I'm an only child.
Yeah, I know, but I was just telling Kelly, I have 11 siblings, but I've been an aunt since I'm like 4 years old. So I know
for sure,
yeah. I took care of all of them. Like I was out of all the 12 of us, I was the last to have children, and I have 4 younger siblings. They're all grandparents. Like my kids are like the youngest, and everybody else had their kids. Like some of them started at 18, 17, and then but none of my siblings had their kids in their 30s. My mother had her last baby at 34, because I know I was like 14 when my mother had my baby brother. Yeah, because she started having babies at 17. Yeah, but I always knew I wanted children.
Yeah,
and I thought I wouldn't have any because I was the babysitter, so I was like, I ain't gonna have no kids. I got nieces and nephews. I could just spoil them. And I was 22 when I got pregnant, and it was something. And I mean, looking back now, I was afraid and scared and everything else because I wasn't married at the time. But I got married the following year before she was born. But it was just such a time in my life, because that's that youthful time where you go off and go live your life,
Right.
And I had to just figure it out. It was like boom, boom, boom. It was like literally coming really fast. So like neck break speed. So, but looking back now, looking at the present now, I'm just like, thank God I did, because she is so strong and so dynamic. She's the only girl in the house, and she loves it. And me and her, we have time together, and we have a great relationship. Especially now since I'm present, because I know sometimes parents think that their way of raising their children should be the same as the way their parents did. And I'm telling you, it doesn't work for the new generation, people.
It does.
It's not working. Your child is gonna say okay and still go off and do their own thing. So not no because I said so. You can just scratch that. Just rip that out.
Well, listen, it didn't work with us either. They just didn't know we was doing that. They said one thing and we were like, okay.
Okay.
And we went off and did what we were gonna do anyway. So parents
might have a conversation about it.
Right. Some things don't change, and there are things that do change. And I'm grateful for, always my mother was very open with me. Always, I could always have open conversation with my mother, which is, what I do with my children is always have open conversation. And I always tell them, there's nothing you could tell me that would make me not love you or be so angry with you that I'm going to depart from you. That will never happen. So whatever it is, you need to go ahead and say what you got to say, because I just need you to know that when nobody else is standing here, I will always be standing here, regardless of what it is. Because I always say about my mother, I said, I could have come upstairs and told my mother, Mommy, I just murdered a man on the corner. And she'd have been like, okay, let's sit down. What happened? Right? Not gonna be like, what? She's gonna. My mother's always been that way, and I always said she's my best friend. And I tell people, I told Steph this last week. We were talking. I was like, as I grew older, right, and I would start sharing stuff with my mother. She'd be like, "Oh my God, I need you to get new friends because I cannot hear anymore what you're telling you."
Yeah.
She's like, no. I need you to get friends, and you need more friends. So,
but it's something special about that mother and daughter relationship, because we all have daughters. I have one of each, Kelly. I have a son and a daughter. Mm-hmm. And my daughter's the oldest. It's only 2 years apart. But it's like whatever it may be. My daughter's on her own. Like I got my apartment now. She just graduated from college. Mm-hmm. But she thinks it's her apartment, but since her, we pay for the apartment, so it's not really her apartment, but I'm her apartment.
There you go.
Yeah, she's feeling herself, you know what I'm saying? And then my son, he's gonna be a junior. He goes to school in California, but he's home. But he's 20, he's feeling himself, But it's interesting just to watch them, Then I was married for like 21 years, so they went through the divorce too, But they have a good relationship with their dad. And so it works, well, you make it work. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I'm getting married again. I haven't met nobody yet, but I'm getting married again.
Speak it to an existence, love. Speak it.
Hey, that's it. I definitely get married again.
So Kelly, what would be your words? And I like, people like to say, oh, what would you tell your younger self? What would you tell the person,
the single mothers who have children? What would you tell them?
I was thinking about this the other day. I always think, people always ask that question about what would you tell your younger self? And I was thinking the other day, it's like more about what would I tell the woman that I saw myself being?
That's deep. Just let me get a 10-second
sure
review on that. I would say there is so much more in store. You have so much more to look forward to, and you have no idea what God has planned for you. Mm-hmm. Your ideas, your vision, can't even see it to know that it exists. You have to walk by faith, not by sight.
Amen.
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 And that's the truth. I literally could not imagine white fence, dog. I mean, literally, it's like a fairy tale. Me explaining it.
Yeah.
Garden. Kelly, you garden? What?
Yeah, I love the garden thing. That's beautiful. I want one of those.
Yeah, she really does garden, girl. If you go look at her Instagram page, you'll see the things she has grown. No joke.
I gotta get back on Instagram. I have to follow you, Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah. And I look forward to meeting whoever wants to reach out. Definitely. I am at Dear Beautiful _ LLC. No different changes in the name of the spelling or anything like that. Dear Beautiful _ LLC on Instagram, or Dear Beautiful on Facebook. Questions, hopefully I got some answers for you, but for the most part, I look forward to meeting you or helping your wife, your sister, your cousin, your daughter with their new makeover or their new up and coming look, because I just believe that we all are beautiful. We just need to be reminded.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. No doubt about that.
Steph, any closing thoughts?
I heard a quote today, it was quite interesting. And it's like, we do have freedom to do what we want, but we don't have the freedom of the consequences. So, choose carefully, and be happy. Life is just beautiful,
Absolutely.
It's how you look at it. And have a great, this hump day. So no, today's not hump day yet. Tomorrow's hump day. I was gonna say have a great weekend, but it's not Friday.
Yes.
And I want to.
It feels like Friday. She said it feels
like Friday. Y'all make me feel like it's Friday.
But I wanted to say to Kelly, thank you so much for coming on our show and just visiting with us. And you have to come back. Absolutely. And it was a pleasure meeting you.
Yes.
Definitely.
Nice to meet you too. Just wonderful, dynamic spirit, and you're just glowing. Look at her. Look at her over there glowing. Look at her. Glowing over there. Bling blinging over there. I need some of that bling. And I look forward to looking into your jewelry line too. Hello, jewelry.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Well, ladies, I want to say thank you all as always for being with us today. Kelly, you are truly a gift. You are a pleasure to always be, and your presence is always joyful. I always leave you with my cheeks hurting from laughing and smiling so much. So, I love you to death. I love you to death. And, hey, we need to get together soon, like in person, right? That's something we need to do more of, is actually get together with one another. So I just want to say, guys, I'm glad that you all tuned in today. I really hope that you gained some wisdom, some nuggets of wisdom today, because there was a lot of it dropped today. And so, get your pads and your pens out, take notes. If you missed it, you can always rewind and go back and listen to it again. You can reach me and Steph, that, right? We're both life coaches. Kelly is an anger management coach. And so anything that you could possibly need, we are willing to help you go through it or find a way to get to it. So we thank you all so much for joining us. Have a wonderful week, and thank you all so much. We love you all. Blessings.
Bye-bye. Thank you.